First play of the game, we're going blind pig.
We're gonna go blind pig.
Blind pig, yeah.
So I'm also a big fan of the blind pig action.
The only reason we're running this action now is because he wanted to say blind pig.
The Blind Pig podcast. Today we are covering 5 players who signed for your Super League basketball team who you forgot even plays. But before we get started, don't forget we are on the road to hitting 50 subs before the end of the year. So make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe, and make sure to comment below what you think of the video. Let's talk about some people who didn't quite stick around. Maybe they played a few games, maybe they never even made it to tip-off. It's easy to forget, especially in our league, how fluid rosters can be. The team that plays at the end of the season is rarely, if ever, the same team that's there at the start of the season. So particularly now, it's really exciting. We're all daydreaming about those dream signings that have just happened and the amazing things they're going to do on the courts. But let's take a closer look at 5 players who signed last year who never even showed up. Let's talk about Nelly Cummings. Nelly Cummings came into SLB with a really strong resume. He played basketball out at Colgate and then at Pittsburgh, where he was known for both his scoring, his ball handling, and his leadership. At Colgate, he averaged 15 points and 5 assists a game and helped lead them to multiple NCAA tournament appearances. And he transferred to Pittsburgh for his final year, where he continued to be a reliable floor general. When he signed with Sheffield last summer, there was genuine excitement. He even appeared in some of their pre-season action overseas. It suggested that he was ready to contribute, that he was going to be a big part of what was going to come. And then nothing. Flipping nothing. No regular season appearances, no official release, and no transfer to another team. Instead, Cummings has quietly transitioned into coaching. His Instagram now shows that he's working with he's now working in coaching for Ambition Family, a youth basketball development program focused mainly on mentoring and training. It's a rare move going from a pro prospect into a full-time coaching role so quickly, but I think it just speaks to kind of his passion for the game and his desire to give back. While fans may have been hopeful to see him on the courts, actually his impact off the court may be just as meaningful. Last year, Ricky Clemens was a major signing for the Cheshire Phoenix. He was seen as a key part of their backcourt rotation. He came in with experience previously playing in Cyprus and was expected to bring some of that scoring and stability to the point guard spot. In his first few games with Cheshire, Clemens delivered. He was averaging a really solid 12 points and 3.3 assists. And he showed a really great control and flow of the offense in a lot of their SLB trophy games. He was aggressive, efficient, and looked like a really solid fit. However, after just a couple of games, he left the team. No injuries, no disciplinary issues. Instead, he signed with a team over in the Georgia Super League. And there he's continued to perform well. He even had a standout game where he scored 31 points and regularly contributed with both assists and steals. It was definitely a short stint in the SLB, but for him it was clearly a stepping stone into another opportunity. And Clemens' case is really a reminder that actually British basketball for a lot of players serves as a launch pad into bigger and different things, especially for players who are looking to build on their international careers. Many fans wanted more time with him, but his move to Georgia actually seems like it's worked out well and was a smart move for Ricky. Jalen Lewin signed with Newcastle Eagles for his rookie season. He had played at Princeton and at Michigan and was known again for a high basketball IQ and really good scoring ability, and real genuine excitement in Newcastle around his signing. He was seen as a player who was going to really grow into the role over the season and become a real key contributor. For the Newcastle Eagles, he played 6 domestic games. He only averaged 3.2 points and 1.3 assists in around 16 minutes. So, nothing eye-popping about his numbers. But he actually did have a really solid game on October 18th, where he came off the bench and scored 11 points. After that, he gave an interview and he talked actively about his willingness to improve, about where he saw the future of the team, particularly going into European ENBL competition. However, just days later, the Newcastle Eagles released a statement confirming his departure. It was a short stint, but the club handled it professionally, and his attitude remained positive. It's a reminder that for every rookie coming into the league, that transition isn't always smooth. Sometimes fit and timing just don't align. His brief time in the Super League basketball hopefully was still a valuable and positive experience. And then we have Mackay Mitchell. If you're a Sheffield fan like I am, you might find it hard to believe that Donovan Mitchell, playing that dynamic centre spot, wasn't with the team at the start of the year. But actually, it looked really, really different back in the summer of 24. Mackay Mitchell was a 6'9" rookie centre coming out of Arkansas. He'd also played at Maryland and Rhode Island. He was really known for really great footwork, rim protection and finishing ability. Particularly at like the SLB level, he was a real lob threat. And at Arkansas, he'd averaged 8.6 points a game and 4.6 rebounds. He looked massively promising in his first appearances for Sheffield. He showed really great touch around the rim, had a really good level of physicality. But again, after a few short games, it was announced that he'd be leaving the Sheffield Sharks and instead joining the G League. He was only there for a few games. From there, he signed with a team in Mexico and eventually won a championship last season. Mitchell's journey shows how quickly things can change. A player can start a season off in the SLB and end up lifting up a trophy over in Latin America. Noah Allen was one of Leicester's first signings that they announced back in the summer of 2024. He was a versatile 6'7" wing, and he'd had lots of experience playing Argentina, Germany, Spain and Mexico. And he was actually coming off a really productive season over in Argentina and in the Mexican League. He'd averaged previously 14 points, 5.6 rebounds and 5.4 assists. And his experience and skill set made him a really attractive option for Leicester, especially as they look to add depth into the wing spot and add a little bit more scoring. But despite the announcement that came out of Leicester, Allen never appeared in any pre-season or regular season game. There's no footage of him, there's no box scores, no formal press release from the club, and it's one of those situations where the signing just doesn't materialise. Potentially it was due to visa issues, contract complications, or potentially just personal decisions. Allen eventually returned to Mexico and rejoined them during the league. This year, he's been playing for them this summer and leading them to an 18-18 record, continuing to put up solid numbers. His story just highlights how unpredictable international signings can sometimes be, and that even experienced players don't make it to the floor. But that doesn't necessarily mean that their careers just... There we go, 5 players, 5 different paths. Some who stayed briefly, some who never even played, and even people who found success elsewhere. SLB is full of stories like these, and that's kind of what makes it so compelling, particularly now in this off-season, as we're all excited and hyped about the players our team is signing. Remember that some of them might not even be there on game 1. But for now, remember, we're on a journey to hit 50 subs. Make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe, and looking forward to catching you in the next one.
First
See you
play of the
later,
game,
guys.
we're going blind pig.
We're going to go blind pig.
Blind pig, yeah. No, I'm also a big fan of the blind pig action.
The only reason we're running this action now is because we wanted to say blind pig and look cool.